Hey guys, as promised, I'm going to try to do some more videos, and I'm going to start out with this one focusing in on my sump. I've had a few questions regarding the sump and should I have one, shouldn't I have one, that kind of thing, so I thought I'd focus a video just exclusively on the sump. So, do you need to have a sump? No, you do not. You can have a regular old tank with a hang-on back filter and you're good to go with some fish and corals in there. Would you want to have a sump? Absolutely yes. Now, why do you want to have a sump? Well, it's someplace to stick all of your filtration into without sticking it into the actual display tank. So for instance, here I've got the skimmer running. I've got a reactor where I'm running some carbon through at the moment, and I have a section here that's just the refugium. So I've got three different types of filtration happening just in the sump here. We've got mechanical filtration with the skimmer. It's skimming all the crud off in there, and you can see I got tons of it already. I just cleaned that the other day. Then we've got what would be considered chemical filtration, which is the reactor here. Now I've just got carbon in there right now, but you could put GFO in there, or FOS band stuff, or whatever, whatever you want to throw in there. And that would be considered your chemical filtration. And then you have another area, the refugium, which is biological filtration, right? We've got some macroalgae in there, and live sand that's along with all sorts of other crud in there, but that's taking out your nitrates and your phosphates and taking that out of the water column. So just to give you an overview here of what's happening inside of the actual sump, or actually inside of the refugium here, I've got some macroalgae, and it's called what the heck is it called? I forgot right now. It's called Caulerpa prolifera. Probably saying that wrong, but it's one of the two varieties it's one of the varieties of macroalgae that is available here in Southern California. There's like a dozen different types. Most of them, I think, are banned in a lot of different states because it's an invasive seaweed. So if it gets out into the wild, it causes havoc. So they don't want you to have it. So it's actually illegal to transport it or sell it. If you go online and you look at some of the places that sell them, a lot of them will say they don't ship it to certain states. If you live in one of those states that bans it, which I do. So I put this stuff in here, I think about 2 days ago. And it seems to be growing kind of nice. I'm getting a little bit of die-off, which is normal. You can see at the top some of the leaves are turning white. And so there's a little bit of die-off there once you put it in there from stress. But overall, I see a lot of new growth also. Down here, I'll try to zoom in. You can see this one's got like little runners that are starting to sprout, almost like roots, and starting to kind of burrow into the sand. This one attaches itself to the sand bed. A little while back, I had some other macroalgae in here that was like a red grape variety, and it actually looked so nice. I put it in the main display tank before it kind of fell apart and withered away. I still have a little bit of it, along with some I think it's called Cheetomorpha, or the Cheeto one, Cheeto. There's a little bit of it mixed in here in the back. It looks like the green spaghetti variety. The red grape one is kind of interesting because I noticed the other day bits and pieces of it have attached to the glass in this section right here, which is apparently it likes high water flow, because this is where my water comes down from the main tank and dumps out right here, along with having the water flow from the skimmer here. And you can see little bits of it here attached to the inside of the glass, and it's starting to grow there. So that's kind of cool. There's some more down at the bottom here. Got a snail running around here. Got a couple other little things living in here. I did see a brittle star someplace down here in the rocks. Probably came in on one of the rocks that I've got a couple of like gravel pieces or live rock rubble pieces that are in there also. And I've got some copepods that are living in there. I see them swimming around every once in a while. Occasionally they'll flow over the top and get sucked into the return pump and probably get munched away by the fish in the main display tank. Way back here I actually have, I think it's I can't remember. It's one of those nuisance anemones. Can't remember how to pronounce it, but here's one living there along the glass. I'll have to grab him out at some point. So one of the things I really like about having the sump here is also having the refugium. It's almost like a whole nother display tank. You know, there's people that have just a giant refugium display tank, and they've got all sorts of macroalgae growing in it. And what I think I'm going to do is I like having that so much. I'm going to go ahead and order up some more macroalgae. I'll make additional videos once I get that stuff in and go over what it looks like in the actual tank. So that's it for now. I'll show you the main tank here too before I go. Nice and clean. The sump is doing its thing, keeping everything clean in here. Fish are happy. And I'll show you a little bit right here in the corner, some of the chaeto algae and red bubble algae that got left over. It sort of settled into this spot and I leave it there. Some of the food, when I feed the tank, the food will settle into that corner and the shrimp will come out and munch on it there. If I can find him. There he is. Alright, well, for now, that's all I've got. Until next time, bye.